A technical problem, a pilot's error, a terrorist attack, there's still no clear answer as to why 217 passengers and 7 crew are returning to St. Petersburg in body bags. A second plane load of remains has now been returned to Russia, and the painstakingly slow process of identifying them has begun. Meanwhile, the plane's black box flight recorders, will now start to be examined by a joint committee of Egyptian and Russian experts, along with German and French specialists from Airbus and from Ireland, where the plane was registered.
Investigations of the black boxes have indeed begun, but it is still only the first hours, the first days of the investigation. These investigations may take weeks, not days, because it is a very precise and complicated task, so nobody should jump to any conclusions.
And it certainly is complicated.
The preliminary results could be announced in about 4 weeks, but to come up with the absolutely final report, they may need at least 6 months. One important thing they've got to do is collect every tiny piece of debris and lay out the contours of the aircraft to determine the nature of the destruction, so they can get closer to unraveling what exactly happened on board the aircraft.
One Russian news agency reports that it has seen a transcript of cockpit recordings, and there was no distress call before the plane went off the radar, but unusual sounds were heard just before it disappeared. But the message from the Russian government here in Moscow is still wait and see. While the airline has denied that either its plane or its pilot was responsible for the crash, the head of Russia's Federal Aviation Authority has said that comments like that are premature. There's a lot at stake here, both for Metrojet or Kogulim Avia, which doesn't want to be made an example of as the Russian government cracks down on airline safety, and for the Kremlin. Because if analysis shows this was a deliberate attack, President Putin's decision to intervene in Syria could be perceived to have triggered it, and therefore also triggered the deaths of Russian holidaymakers. Lorna Shaddick, CCTV, Moscow.